Good morning. My name is Kareem McNeil. I'm at SCI Phoenix, and I want to first thank the Prison Society, Almighty God, and the Phoenix administration for allowing me this opportunity to receive this prestigious award. Now, we do a lot of work in my organization, Real Street Talk, and I think that's what got me part of the recognition that I got. But I'm going to just give you a little history on Real Street Talk. Real Street Talk was birthed out of pain because of all the pain and suffering that we've seen in our communities, the murder of school-aged children and the elderly in our community. And we realized that we had a very serious problem, and we felt that we had to intervene right from prison to send a message out to society that it was unacceptable by us to see all this murder and mayhem going on. So fortunately, it was able to resonate in some places. We still have a ways to go, but some things are being done, and we are thankful for that. Now, the Real Street Talk accomplishments, from doing this work, we have been able to make a $10,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It was an officer who was murdered at SCI Somerset. We were able to make a $1,000 donation to a charity that he had set up. And we have numerous other accomplishments from donations that we have made. So we want to be mindful and conscious of giving back to society as well as the administration, because it's a very serious problem that we have that we want to intervene in. We are partnered with the United States Department of Justice, Deputy State Attorney General Robert Reed, and the Friends Prisons, and doing reentry workshops, guiding people back into society, debriefing them out of their criminal way of thinking, changing their minds and hearts, trying to make them fit to be accepted by society as changed human beings. Now, we always hear about the village concept. And I'm going to just take a minute to touch on the village concept, because the village concept is very important. The village concept, they always hear this saying that it takes a village to raise a child, which is true. But the proverb has other parts to it. And the following part to the opening part is that so the child could come back to raise the village. Now, when you look in our communities, you see a lot of people missing. A lot of people missing. A lot of us are in prison. A lot of us are dead. A lot of us got hooked on drugs, and a lot just don't care. But we care, and we don't want to talk about how much we know about as opposed to how much we care. And we care. And right from here, we want to be the men that come back to raise the village, because the saying is, takes a village to raise a child so the child can come back to raise the village. So we the men from these communities, and we're reaching back from here to raise these villages. And we want to say to the young people that feel like they don't have any old heads, they say our old heads are dead or in jail. We want to say to them, no, we're your old heads. We see you and we hear you, and we're reaching out for you, because we got to save you from doing what you do, because we used to be you. And the closing part of that proverb is that the child who is not embraced by the village, he comes back to burn it down. And when you see all the recklessness, the murder and mayhem, destruction in the villages, in the communities, it's the child crying out for love. Our young people are not getting the love and support they feel they need from the community. So from the prison, we reaching out to them, telling them, we got you. We used to be you. We know. We preceded you in this nonsense. And I want to close with an event that we planning. There's one point that I forgot to mention. It was a situation where a young man was killed in the street tragically, as I talk about the violence in our city. And his family, his mother, she's a single mother, and they didn't have the money to bury him. So we was able to bring the men together in Phoenix, the organizations, and we volunteered to pay for the young man's funeral. So we paid for his funeral, and we found out the school that he went to, that they like to eat cheesesteaks. So we took the money we had, and we paid for the funeral, and we got together, and we got a team in the street, and we paid for cheesesteaks to feed the whole school. We gave them cheesesteaks, sodas, and potato chips, because that's a part of the love that we talk about, that the child comes back to burn down the village when they don't feel the love. That's the love that we insinuating. So it's the Prisoners and Ex-Offenders Apology Summit. Now the purpose of this summit, because the prisoners, ex-offenders, we want to come back to the communities. Because the prisoners, when you go to prison, you pay your debt to the system. You don't pay your debt to society. When you come home from prison, then you can pay your debt to society. So the Prisoners and Ex-Offenders Apology Summit is to come back and ask for permission for the communities to forgive us and allow us to come back and rewrite our wrongs for preceding the young people in crime and violence and laying down the groundwork for all the crime and violence you see in the community. Because people do what they've seen other people do. It's sad that it just went to higher and higher levels of violence and turmoil. But we got a responsibility as men from the communities we come from to help lay the groundwork for this out of control behavior. So we asking the communities to allow us to come back, rewrite our wrongs, clean up the mess that was made, make the communities a safe place again, fit for raising a family and living. Because when you look at our communities, they're in turmoil. And we want to change that. If we don't change it, who will? So I thank you for this opportunity. Anything good that I said that comes from Almighty God. And we hope to see you again soon and be able to do some things to help make situations better. Thank you.